Hello everybody, this is Trey from the Cheat Technique. I'm posting this video in response to a video that I received from a friend of mine, Jamie Starkey, at the Turning Point Women's Shelter. The video that's making its rounds is a self-defense video geared towards women that is basically instructing young girls if they are attacked and being choked, which is a very common approach to how men approach women when they are attacking. That if they are being choked, the response is to reach through the choke, grab the attacker's head, and basically headbutt him into submission. Once he is down, then the young girl is to flee. Please do not do this. First off, the message you are being sent is that the head is a vulnerable area, and that by striking it repeatedly you can render your attacker harmless. But yet they're instructing you to use the same part of your anatomy that you're striking on him that's vulnerable as a weapon. You cannot use it as a shield and a sword. Please do not headbutt your attackers. Anyone that's ever been in any type of real world confrontation will also tell you that that works great when you are practicing and your partner or your attacker, pretend attacker, is standing in one spot allowing you to do this precisely. In a real world situation, everyone is moving around. You could strike somewhere else, a harder part of his head. You could break your own nose. You could give yourself a concussion. You could knock yourself out. Any damage to the frontal lobe is something you would really like to avoid. Plus, we cannot automatically assume that every female that is attacked is going to have a harder cranium than her attacker. Let's talk real quick about other myths. Most women's self-defense is being taught either for the woman to fight like a man. It is being taught by police officers who teach women what they have learned, which is to maintain and control, which is the last thing that a woman needs to do. We don't want you to maintain and control your attacker. We want you to minimize the attack and get yourself to safety and out of harm's way. Some of the myths that go along with women's self-defense you will often hear. Hit them in a vulnerable point. Hit them in the eyes. Hit them in the testicles. Stomp on their foot. These are all fine things, except for the stomp on the foot. However, to strike someone in the eye, the human body is very protective of particular organs. Anyone that's ever been to a picnic that has had a gnat almost get in their eye, but without you even knowing it was coming, you were able to trap it right in the corner of your eye and go like this and wipe it out. That's how quick your response is. Well, the same thing is going to happen if you're trying to gouge someone in the eye. They're going to protect themselves. They're going to move their heads. Okay? Let's get into the age-old debate. What hurts worse, a woman having a child going through labor or a man getting hit in the testicles? From a woman's viewpoint, I get it, and I wouldn't want to do it. No argument on that end. However, I think you are misunderestimating the impact that getting hit in the testicles has. I will give you this example. Many of you women have more than one child. That means you chose to have another child. Any of the men watching this will tell you, if they've been hit in the testicles, they never ever want to be hit in the testicles again. Okay? If you will go to a movie and watch the crowd, the man on the screen gets hit. Everyone in the theater cringes. Every man in the theater cringes. Women go to the theater and they see a woman giving birth and they cry and say, oh, how sweet, it's the gift of life. This kind of shows you the difference. Now, both of these areas are great places to visit on your road to freedom. They are just not your first destination. You will need to have a plan on how to get there. Okay, as for stomping on the foot, how is that going to work for you? What if you're in your high heels? You don't get to plan an attack. What if you're coming from work and you've got on your dress shoes, or you're going out for the evening and you've got your pumps or your stilettos on, or you've got sandals on? Have you ever stepped off of a curb and almost sprained your ankle? Stepped off of a step and almost rolled it? Imagine stomping on the rounded part of someone's foot. So now you're going to sprain your ankle to make it even harder to get away. You're actually helping your attacker. That's some of the myths that are involved that need to be diminished. Okay? We would like to invite you all to come take the cheat technique class. We will teach you some of the techniques that the police officers have learned. We're also going to teach you some techniques that prisoners do. Let's put it into perspective. A police officer has to survive an 8 to 12 hour shift. He is able to attempt that with a firearm on his side. A prisoner has to survive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with no firearm. There's little tricks that you can learn from everybody. Come on out, see the cheat technique. I'll help you make a plan, and we'll get you better prepared.